So first things first, I need to say everyone is different when it comes to anxiety and depression and mental health issues especially. Like, everyone who suffers from something like that, right, has something different to say about it. But I was in a position of being the best friend of someone who suffers and still suffers from depression and anxiety, and I do suffer from it as well. So I've been in both positions and still am, and I kind of know what I'm talking about. But obviously, as I said, it's different for everyone, but I just want to give my general opinions for you guys, and hopefully it can help some of you. So as you already read in the title, today I want to talk about 5 do's and don'ts that you should and should not do with a person that suffers from anxiety/depression. If you know someone who would need this video also, you can share it with them. And yeah, let's jump right into it. So the first thing on my list is actually kind of obvious, and that's ask what they want to do if you meet up with them. I know it sounds really obvious, but a lot of people don't actually think about that and just think what they would do in this situation. And if you don't suffer from it, you probably don't even know what to do in that situation, so you should probably just ask them. And no matter how boring it sounds, what they suggest, no matter if they just want to stay at home, sit in silence with you, but want to be in company with you, take it. And they will be so, so grateful. This leads us into the first don't. Don't do that ever. Don't pressure them in something that you want to do and think that is best for them. A lot of people who suffer from depression and anxiety, especially in that combination, don't know whatsoever how to say no to a good friend because they feel like they betray them, they feel like they disappoint them, and that's the worst part. The worst part is that if you think you disappoint someone while you're depressed, while you're anxious, also makes you feel so much less worth and gives you that terrible feeling of maybe losing that person if you say no, even if it's only one time. So don't be like, hey, let's go out, have a good time, let's just party it all the way. That ain't gonna work. And if you think that that's kind of obvious and you think, yeah, I won't go party with a friend that suffers from anxiety, trust me, it is not. Like, a lot of people, especially if they're depressed and anxious at the same time, have friends who think it's just the best for them to go out, have a great time, go party, go drink, and after like 1 or 2 times, everything is fine again. And trust me, that isn't the case. So the next thing, accept if they don't want to meet up with you. And also accept if your friend is going to be like, I don't want to hang out with you anymore in the middle of a meeting that you have. Like, in the middle of you doing something, you're just being happy with them and you think everything is doing fine, and all of a sudden their mood drops and they're like, I want to be alone, can you please leave? Accept that. It's not about you, trust me. Like, they love you if you are just gonna be like, alright, have a good time, and you're gonna leave. The thing that you also should do, and also at the same time not, is you should talk with them about if they want to start therapy or if they have a therapy going on, how is it going? But you shouldn't really like pressure them into going to therapy, because if that person doesn't want to go to therapy, it doesn't do anything. I had a lot of people with me going through therapy, to group therapy, etc., and they didn't want it to be there. And trust me, if they don't want to be there, it's not going to do anything for them. Like, they're just there, they suffer through it, and at the end of the lesson, the session, they are like as smart as they were on the beginning of the session. Next thing is, you should take responsibility. Like, please do that. If you hang out with a friend that suffers from anxiety, for example in a restaurant, at a cafe, or go shopping, you're most likely to need to take the responsibility of paying the bill. Obviously you split the bill afterwards, but paying the bill, or order something for them, etc., because it's gonna be very hard for them to do it in a situation like that. Because to me still, even though I've been to 100 hours of therapy, it's still hard for me sometimes to order something at a restaurant or a cafe. Even if it's just small things like taking a call for them. For example, call if you want to like pizza delivery and you're gonna be the person that calls for the delivery and order. That's like such a huge thing for like the person who suffers from anxiety. But if you're good at it, just do it for them. They will be so grateful. Next thing that you shouldn't do is don't make jokes about it. I do make a lot of jokes about my anxiety and my depression, but only with people who can relate with me, who are like at the same therapy sessions with me, or I know that they also suffer from anxiety. But if you hear a joke about anxiety and depression from a person that can't relate to you that good, that just is really bad, and it kind of like, it sucks. Next thing you want to keep an eye on and should keep in mind is it's going to be harder to hang out with people with anxiety. But since you found this video, you're probably most likely to accept that, gonna stay with them and gonna do whatever you need to do for them. But it's gonna be hard. It's not gonna be that fun anymore at certain points. Like, you're not gonna go party, as I said. You're not gonna go drinking. You're not gonna do all the things that you maybe once did. Maybe sometimes you're just gonna sit in silence together with them, and that's it. But if they want to keep company with you in a situation like that, that's like the biggest trust. I mean, how can they show you more love? It will be harder to find a spot to hang out at. It will be harder to find activities to do with them, but keep in mind that they will be grateful forever. The next point is, even though that you know you're supposed to kind of take more responsibility now, etc., don't make decisions for them. Don't go ahead and just make a decision and be like, oh, they don't want to do that anyway, so I'm not gonna ask them. Ask them. Because sometimes I was surprised by myself. If people ask me, hey, you want to do that and that, all of a sudden you're like very hyped about it and you want to do it all of a sudden, and it's a day thing. Like, from day to day it changes. So keep that in mind. Still ask them what they want to do, as I said before, but still don't make this decision already in your head. Ask them. Don't be like, oh, they don't want to do that anyway. The next one is the biggest point, and it's listen to them. Listen to them no matter how long they will rant about something, no matter how boring it maybe sounds to you. They will be very happy if you listen to them. Give them all of your attention, because sometimes they are very alone, very silent in their head, and talk to them in their heads and get it all out is just such a good feeling. And the last point is, don't be offended. Don't be offended by anyone who tells you that they don't want to hang out with you at the moment, that they don't want to go party with you at the moment, that they rather stay home alone at the moment and not talk to you, and maybe don't even text for an entire day. Don't think they don't want to be friends with you anymore, because they do probably want to be friends with you even more than ever, because they're kind of scared to lose you. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you had a great time watching this video and learned something, because I mean, a great time. It's a sad topic, but you probably learned something, or I hope you have new ideas what you can do. And I would love you guys to subscribe to my channel. But obviously you don't have to, but I would be very proud and happy to see you guys again here. And if you have questions, leave them in the comments. I'll try to help. See you guys hopefully soon. Bye.